How's it going today, everyone? And it looks like we have another example of why the comic book industry is dead. Let's be honest, nobody cares about comic books anymore. They butchered all the characters. They gave all the popular characters race swap or gender swap mantles that just so happen to be more powerful than the original. These characters are gay all of a sudden and having gay makeout scenes and not actually saving people, and they're talking about activism like systemic racism and climate change. And nobody wants that gay shit in their comic books. More specifically, people hate race swaps. It's clearly done for pandering purposes, and it pisses everybody off because there are people of various different backgrounds who are a fan of white characters. So you changing the characters to black doesn't make them better. And the comic I am talking about is Ultimate Spider-Man. Yes, I know some people are going to say, oh, it's a different universe, whatever, shut up. Some people are always going to use that excuse. Yes, Ultimate Spider-Man is in the Ultimate Universe, at least this new version of the Ultimate Universe. But this is done for pandering. And here's the comic cover right here. And as you can see, we have Black Cat or Black Cat with a curly afro and black skin. And just an FYI, Spider-Man is already married in this universe, so this is kind of stupid. I get the idea Black Cat is kind of that forbidden love interest for Spider-Man, but people like this line of comics because we actually get to see Peter happy. Because Peter Parker is never happy. I think Spider-Man is fucking garbage, honestly. He's just a loser, a disgrace, a failure in life. He looks like he wants to delete himself in Minecraft. I gotta say in Minecraft for YouTube. But he looks like he wants to off himself all the time. He can never have a happy life. Mary Jane is too good for him, and sometimes extremely toxic. If you've seen the Tobey Maguire movies, Gwen Stacy got thrown off a building by the Green Goblin and just smashed her head on the ground. So yeah, Peter Parker is a fucking loser. He's overrated. He's trash. The character is trash. He's a self-insert character for the biggest losers in society. People can look at the character and say, hey, he's a loser. I'm a loser. I'm a Spider-Man. And that's why he's so popular. I know I went on a random rant right there, but it had to be said because I fucking hate Spider-Man. But back to the comic. Yeah, this does not make the character better in any way, shape, or form. This doesn't add to the character. All this does is promote pandering, when pandering is one of the reasons why your comic book industry is dead in the first place. Stop with the diversity and all the bullshit like that. Give fans the version of the character they expect and that they grew up with, whether it be from movies, games, or the books themselves. People of every background are a fan of white characters. I don't know where this idea is coming from, that you have to be the same color as the character in order to be a fan of the character or relate to the character in any way, shape, or form. When did that fucking start? That bullshit logic is what led to the creation of Miles Morales. Miles Morales was created to be, and I quote, the Obama of Spider-Man. No, I am not joking. I have no idea what the fuck does that even mean. But that's what the creator of the character said. So are we just gonna pretend like black people were never a fan of Spider-Man before Miles Morales showed up? Because everyone of every single race enjoyed the Tobey Maguire movie. They enjoyed, well, I won't say the Andrew Garfield movies, but people still watch it because Spider-Man. It still made money because Spider-Man. So you don't need a black version of Spider-Man or a black version of Black Hat. You don't need a black hat for people to enjoy the character when most people enjoy the character already because she has big titties and she's sexy. So why do this version of the character? Because you're out of touch and you're stupid, and that's what comic books are dead. And that's why I don't read modern comic books. I rather read omnibuses, which are these big hardcover collections of comic books that were decades old and 1,000 times better. But let's actually read some comments to that tweet. And this first one says, that ain't Black Cat. That's fucking Domino from Deadpool 2, another race swap character. And I did not like that movie at all. That movie is terrible. Jeez. The movie centered around some obnoxious brat that Deadpool just suddenly cares about. And he's just gonna risk everything just to save some dumb kid. That movie didn't even have a clear villain. First it was Cable, then it was Juggernaut, then it's the scientist, and these shitty X-Force characters. That whole X-Force part of the movie was just completely unnecessary. And it just made a boring movie more boring. I don't think Black Cat is based off Domino from Deadpool 2. They just created a black girl with an afro, which is kind of generic. But let's read another comment. And this one says, What the fuck? And still creating new black female characters, others have to race swap. Does this guy even speak English correctly? What the fuck is wrong with this comment? Race swipe? Whatever, I'll just try to read it. Others have to race swipe another current character. It's no wonder why America comic books are getting more woke. I don't like the word woke. That's a conversation for another time. I don't use it myself. While manga and Rippaverse is doing better. God, that was the most obnoxious comment tweet I've ever read on this channel, period. Jesus fucking Christ. But I get what he's trying to say. And a lot of people say this as well. Why don't you just use the original characters that are black? There are plenty of black characters that are just sitting on a comic book for decades, whether it be using them in the comics itself or using them in the movies. That's what people have been saying for a long time. We know this is done for purely pandering purposes, but you're pissing off the fans of the character when you change them from white to black, and that includes fans of every different race, including black people. So it fucks over the fans of the characters, and it fucks over the original characters that deserve a spotlight. And that is one of the many reasons why manga is doing better and independent comic books are doing better. Comic book fans need to go somewhere to get the content they like, and manga is just absolutely destroying comic books. I remember reading a headline years ago that said Demon Slayer. Just Demon Slayer, that one manga anime. You guys probably know the anime, but you haven't read the books. But that single comic book line of manga line, whatever they call it over there, that alone outsold the entire American comic book industry. That is fucking insane to even think about. We invented the concept first with fucking Superman, or even before that, before superheroes was a thing. There were like comedy comic book or comedy comic strips and newspapers and stuff like that. We invented the concept. The rest of the world took it, and Japan took it and ran and then sold more copies than us. But let's get one thing straight. The only reason manga is outselling American comic books is because comic books has been politicized. Not because it's better. It may be better than the current modern day comic books. No manga is better than the comic books from decades ago when comics were actually good. I don't give a fuck what you manga cocksucking weebs say. No manga can even compare to the comic books of decades ago. You're not better. We just gotten worse because of bad actors in charge. And you don't even fucking color your books. That's why I have no personal interest in it. And plus, I'm not really into anime like that anymore. I grew out of it. But that's a story for another time. But let me wrap this up. This Ultimate Spider-Man Black Cat comics, I'm assuming it's gonna do well because Ultimate Spider-Man has been doing decently well. Because like I said before, this universe gives Spider-Man fans what they wanted, which is seeing Peter happily married with his wife and kids. I don't know if this issue specifically is gonna piss people off. It doesn't piss me off that much because I'm not a fan of Spider-Man or Marvel in general. I prefer DC, but I'm already annoyed with this shit in DC as well. So if comic books want to continue failing over and over and over and over again, keep doing stupid shit, because I'd rather see this whole industry burn. It's already dead. Let's just call it what it is. It makes no money. Marvel and DC don't give a fuck about this. They only care about the movies, because the movies what actually should make money is not making money that much for Disney right now, but they never cared about the books themselves, even though that's where the content comes from. And I hate that they don't read it, because the best stories for all these characters are already written. But that's another rant. I'm just gonna wrap this shit up because I'm just gonna keep going on tangent after tangent after tangent. So it is what it is. Marvel Comics and Ultimate Spider-Man, go fuck yourself.